a big day yesterday. Obviously, the interest from Liverpool in Alexander Isak has been ongoing for a really long time now. It feels like it's been a drawn out saga already, and I'm sure we've still got a lot of that left to play. But yeah, Liverpool made their first official bid for him yesterday. We believe it was around 110 million as an upfront fee. Newcastle obviously have been quite firm all summer that the price for Alexander Isak, if they were to sell him, would be around the 150 million mark. Obviously, Liverpool bidding well below that, so it was always going to be rejected, that offer, and Liverpool will have known that. They will have gone into that knowing that that bid will have been turned down. And then we started hearing reports later on in the evening about Liverpool's stance changing in the face of that rejection, and them potentially walking away from a deal, that they're not planning, as things stand, to make a second bid for Alexander Isak. However, you know, the reading between the lines there, as much as Liverpool aren't planning to bid straight away to make a second bid, there's every chance that I think if Newcastle are able to get a replacement in, which I know we'll go on to talk about with Benjamin Sesko, but if they're able to get that over the line, that could open the door then for Liverpool to re-enter negotiations and bid again. But as things stand, the bid has been rejected, and Liverpool for the time being are just sort of monitoring things from afar.
Oh, Don, you know what? We took a look at the last show you were on, and things have really changed. Ekitike was linked to Newcastle. Back then, Newcastle were really running on a high, obviously. They won their first cup in forever. They've made the Champions League. Everything's looking great. Now, Isak wants to leave. Ekitike's gone to Liverpool. It's all come crashing down, Don.
Liverpool have absolutely butchered Newcastle's summer, because I sat here 3 weeks ago and I thought, really optimistically, I thought Newcastle would push and challenge the top three, because Isak hadn't been tapped up at the time or reportedly to leave. They put a bid in for Ekitike, who I think is a fantastic young player. And I thought with the midfield that they've got, and the debates that me and Steve and Ali have had over the best midfield, or one of the best midfield in the country, very solid at the back. I thought Champions League football, winning their trophy last season. I thought this summer was the one where if Ekitike had went to Newcastle, Newcastle could have been looking to challenge the top three, win another major trophy, and all of a sudden kick on and be a regular in the top four. Now, all of a sudden, Liverpool have come in and Ekitike is gone. I don't think it'll be the last bid. I really don't, for Alexander Isak. The journalists up in Newcastle seem to think the 110, which I think is embarrassing from Liverpool's point of view, because the number's going to be closer to 140, 150. So I've got no idea why Liverpool have gone in at 110, because they know they're going to get knocked back, which is going to upset Newcastle. I listened to Eddie Howe's interview today, and he's the one I feel sorry for the most, because he's on pre-season tour trying to organise a team and try to organise a group of players to try and get minutes to prepare for a first Premier League game in about 2 weeks' time. Newcastle fans I've spoke to sort of want him gone. If he's going to go out like this and this is the way he's going to go, they'll want him gone, and in 5 years' time they'll forget his name, because there's a reason why they still sing for Kevin Keegan and Alan Shearer, Jackie Milburn, Andy Cole, Peter Beardsley, etc. So it's all become a little bit messy, but I don't think this is the end of it.
Yeah, it sounds as though the answer might have already been told to us here by Don. When I'm going to ask you next, Don, you played for Liverpool, but obviously you're a Newcastle fan, you're from the region. What should Isak do?
Yeah.
What do you want
Isak
him to do?
If he wants to move, let him go.
What do you want him to do with your heart?
Do you know what? I'd love him to stay, because that might be the case. I think the rumours are that he returned back to Newcastle up on Tyneside today to report back for training for Monday morning. So if Liverpool lowball Newcastle at 110, then he ain't going to go, because Newcastle have got the power. He's got 3 years left on his contract, so they can actually say to him, you are staying. Then it's a test of the player's character. Are you going to down tools? Are you going to get yourself ready for the first day of the Premier League? Which I'm pretty sure 99% professionals would do. It'll be a blow for him, and he'll have the and he'll be moody for a few days. But once the saga ends, and if Liverpool's stance is we're not going any higher, any closer to 150, Newcastle have got all the money in the world and all the power on the player's contract to say, well, we're not going to sell you, so you've got to get your head down and play. Now, that might change in 6 months' time or a year's time, but as it stands, it's actually 50-50 whether he stays or whether he goes, because it's all down to Liverpool's bid. Beth's correct in saying if Newcastle get replacements in, they might then... You know, I think if Newcastle got 2 players in, there's good number 9s out there. There's guys like Ollie Watkins or Garassi at a different age profile, I would imagine, at 29. But there's players like Wissa, there's players like Sesko. If they get 2 players in for the Alexander Isak money, I think Newcastle are in a good position all of a sudden.
Do you think it's shocking to see Don turn his back on Liverpool like this?
To be honest, I'm trying to figure out where he's going with the Watkins, Wissa, these types of players. That's not the type of player that's going to get Newcastle either then we're close to the top 3 or fighting for Champions League every season. I mean, it's just not, Don. They have to get a bona fide player in like Sesko. After that, they're just filling a hole.
Yeah.
And so if they're filling a hole, it's one thing to have 150 million in your pocket, but if you're going to try and fill a hole for 12 months and let Isak go, if they do get offered 140, say, that ain't taking them. That doesn't guarantee them top 4. So they're not going to win.
Don't forget they lost Callum Wilson as well, Stevie.
Yeah, they got nobody.
Don't forget they lost Callum Wilson as well. So as it stands, Newcastle, if Alexander Isak goes, they haven't even got a number 9.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to replace 2 players.
But listen, if you're going to go and get, Don, honestly, if you're going to go and get Wissa and Ollie Watkins, all you're doing is plugging a hole. You are not taking a step forward.
Yeah.
You're taking a step back. And Newcastle can't do that.
No, correct. Correct. What I meant was Benjamin Sesko is the one that they want. They've bid about 70 million for him, but I think they need another one. And if you get Sesko in and it's Ollie Watkins or a Wissa, which I think Newcastle are interested in because he's not training with Brentford. I think he's been away for a couple of days. I heard their manager talk today that that's a messy situation as well. So it's all becoming a little bit of a really messy situation that we're seeing at a lot of clubs, which we've not seen this for a number of years. Transfers are normally quite hard and quite complex, but they normally get done. We've seen a couple of players now in Wissa and Alexander Isak who are not even training at their clubs.